Aunt Sue has 2 stories all ready to tell, and the first one is called
Polio.
Doctor, our son.
What's the matter with him, Doctor? Well,
Tell us, Doctor. We can take it.
Well, he has polio. Polio? And only 4 years old.
Yes, poor little 4-year-old Joe had polio, and he had it badly. So badly that it left him with both legs absolutely useless. Also, his left arm. Even his right arm was so distorted it was almost useless. 5 years later, when Joe was 9, the family moved to the country on a farm. Even though Father worked hard and prospered, there just never seemed to be enough money to hire a nurse for Joe. So Joe had to sit day in and day out, all by himself on the back porch. All he could do was think, read, sleep, and watch the chickens and cows in the barnyard and, well, just sit. Sometimes he would close his eyes, and his brother and sister, thinking him asleep, would talk about him.
Poor Joe. He'll always be a cripple.
He'll never be able to take care of himself.
People look at him and feel sorry for him.
He's a burden to us, and he always will be.
Come on, we gotta go to the barn and feed the stock.
Sometimes I think we'd be better off if Joe just...
I won't be a burden to anyone. I'll take care of myself. Somehow.
Why, Joe, what's the matter?
I can't help it, Mother.
What's the matter?
I'm not going to be a burden to anyone. I'll take care of myself.
Have your brother and sister been talking again?
I'll even take care of you, Mother. I will.
Joe, don't get all aroused.
I don't have much of a body, but I do have a mind, and I'm going to develop it.
Now, Joe, you know you can't go to school, not by yourself. And we certainly can't afford to hire someone to take you and bring you back and care for you while you're in school.
Well, can we afford to buy 2 goats and a small wagon?
Well, what for?
Can we?
I suppose so, if they'll help you or make you happy.
I could drive the goats to school, then crawl up the steps and sit at one desk all day. Then at night, I'd crawl back down the steps and drive the goats home.
I'm afraid the children would make fun of you.
I'd go real early in the morning before the other kids got there, so they wouldn't see me crawling up the steps.
Well, son, if you're that determined to get an education, we'll see that you get it.
Then I can have the goats in the wagon?
I suppose so. I'll see your father right away about it. Well, son, how are you getting along in school?
Oh, all right, Mother.
You don't sound very enthusiastic. Are the kids making fun of you?
Oh, it's just that they aren't very thoughtful. I sit at that one desk all day, and no one seems to care if I get thirsty or need help or what.
Why don't you ask for what you need?
No, Mother. I'll die before I ask for help.
Don't they pay any attention to you at all?
Oh, yes, the wrong kind of attention. They pity me, and they stare at me. They want to know how I got this way. If people would only treat us cripples like ordinary people, we'd be much happier.
People mean all right, Joe.
Yes, Mother, I know. But no one but a cripple knows how much it hurts to have people talk about us and feel sorry for us.
Joe was intelligent and ambitious, and he finished 6 years of schoolwork in 3. During the summer, he earned money by driving his goats and wagon around town and selling sundries to housewives out on porches and in yards. One day, he drove to the town's weekly newspaper office and caught the editor just as he was going out to lunch.
Hello, Mr. Showalter.
Hello, Joe. How's tricks today?
Just grand, Mr. Showalter. But things would be even better if you'd give me a job.
Give you a job? Well, now, Joe, I admire you and your spunk, but what sort of a job could I give you?
You advertised for someone to address the papers you send out by mail.
So I did. And come to think of it, you could do that if you could get inside. But see those steps there, Joe? You couldn't get up and down them.
I wouldn't need to, Mr. Showalter. The ground slants up towards the back of the building. Back there, the ground's on a level with the window, and I could drive up to it, slip through the window, and into a chair.
You got it all figured out, ain't you, Joe?
I want that job, Mr. Showalter.
Well, Joe, you get the job.
So now Joe had a regular job. Even so, he continued going to school and even did some extra studying by correspondence. One day, he wrote a small news item for the paper.
Say, Joe, this is well written. Try your hand at it again sometime.
Thanks, Mr. Showalter. I will.
So Joe started writing news items regularly. Then, on the side, he worked at writing a series of articles about cripples. When it was finally finished, he sent it in to a large daily paper in Memphis. He anxiously awaited their answer, and finally it came.
Mr. Joe Sullivan, dear sir, your series of articles on the life of a cripple has been accepted for publication. Enclosed you will find a check at the rate of 1/2 cent per word.
Shortly after that, Joe finished high school. When he was 19, the editor of the Gazette died, and Joe took over the mortgage on the paper and thus became the owner and editor of the local paper. Soon the town was in the midst of electing a new mayor. Young Joe entered the race. His team of goats became a familiar sight at rallies and mass meetings. From the confines of that little wagon behind the goats, young Joe made his campaign speeches.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, if elected mayor, I promise to give you a clean, just, and honest administration. I promise that, as mayor, I will do all in my power to make this town a place we can all be justly proud of.
The ballots are all in, Mr. Sullivan. And you are the new mayor of Emmerdon.
Thank you, Morris.
Good news, son?
I'm the new mayor, Mother. Think of it. Me, the hopeless cripple, the boy everyone said would be a burden. Me, the mayor of Emmerdon.
Six months later, Joe's mother died, and Joe was left alone. 2 years later...
Well, Mr. Sullivan, Emmerdon has prospered under you as a mayor. And now it's time for another election. I have your permission, I presume, to again enter your name as a candidate.
No, Morris, I don't think so.
You don't want to be mayor for another term?
No, it isn't that I don't want to be mayor. It's just that somehow I feel that being mayor isn't my calling. I want to go on to other, perhaps better, bigger things.
Well, suit yourself, Mr. Sullivan.
I have an offer to become the publicity agent for the Harbor Springs Chamber of Commerce.
Publicity agent? Well, that isn't nearly as important as being mayor.
I know, but it will add to my experience and circle of friends. And friends are necessary, very necessary, to a successful and happy life. So, I guess I'll accept that position in Harbor Springs.
Yes, Joe, you wish to talk with me?
Well, Mr. Horner, I've been happy here in Harbor Springs, and yet I wish to resign.
Resign already?
I have another offer, in Detroit.
More money, I suppose.
No, actually, I'll get less than I do here.
Then why change?
It's a position with the Brown Hospital for crippled children.
I see. And you're probably wise to get into work of that nature.
Crippled children need understanding and help that only another cripple like me can give them. And I'm sure it's the work that God would have me do.
You're absolutely right, Joe. When are you leaving?
Just as soon as I can get ready. Miss Buckley?
Yes, Mr. Sullivan?
It's past quitting time. You'd better put away your typewriter and go home.
Why don't you put away your work and go home, Mr. Sullivan?
No, there's too much to do that simply has to be done.
If you work, I work. No, I have a better idea. I'll sit right down here beside you and talk. Unless you prefer to take me somewhere to lunch.
Miss Buckley, you know I never go to lunch or any place with anybody.
I don't see why not.
I think you know why, Miss Buckley.
You're as good as anyone else, Mr. Sullivan.
No, Miss Buckley. I'm different from most people.
Different, yes. You're more noble. You're better. You're clean and honest and pure and above most people.
Look at me, Miss Buckley.
I don't care what you look like.
But looks do make a difference, you know.
Not to me, they don't.
You're an attractive, intelligent, and charming young woman. You're perfectly normal physically, while you have no business even being seen with me.
Oh, Joe, don't talk like that. Can't you see how... For months, ever since you came to Detroit, I've been... Oh, Joe,
But Mary, such an idea had no business even
Joe, you called me Mary.
I did?
You did.
Well, you called me Joe.
I did. Imagine that.
Yes, imagine that.
Joe, fearful that Mary's attraction for him was the result of impulse and pity, allowed their engagement to run along for 3 years. Then they were married. And a happy marriage it was, too. Joe Sullivan became the head of the Farmington School for Unfortunate and Crippled Children. A sad sight those children are when they first come to Mr. Sullivan's school.
Yes, they come to us bitter and hopeless, outcasts of society. Some haven't even been taught to play games, or to read or write. They have no training of any kind. Poor, miserable little cripples of society, whose deformed bodies arouse only idle pity and morbid curiosity. Yet, when we give them a chance to help themselves, they respond with burning eagerness. They become self-supporting, self-respecting citizens. To those of you who are normal in body, I suggest that you imagine yourself a cripple. Then, and only then, may you be able to find some way to be really kind to handicapped people, some way to be fair and honest with them, giving them a real chance in life.
Hello there, Aunt Sue.
Hello, Uncle Dan, and hello to all of you that came to be with us today.
Aunt Sue, I hope you have another of your true-to-life stories ready for us today.
Indeed I do, and I think that our older boys and girls who are beginning to date will be especially interested in this one.
Oh, well, I hope it doesn't leave out our younger listeners.
Well, actually, Uncle Dan, although it is about dating, it also involves choosing one's friends, and I'm sure all our boys and girls are interested in choosing the best friends possible. Friends are important to everybody, and in many ways, they make us what we are.
I'll agree with that, Aunt Sue. What you just said reminds me of a Bible verse that reads, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed."
Yes, that's right. And another verse says that even a child is known by his doings.
Well, tell me, Aunt Sue, what do you call your story?
I call it
Footprints.
Danny Borden has taken Amy Carter, his girlfriend, to a party at Hunter's Beach House. Danny has had misgivings about going to the party because Greg Denver, who has organized the get-together, has a rather notorious reputation. But Danny soon discovered that almost all the kids planned on going, and he decided it might be a lot of fun. After he and Amy have arrived at the party, however, it hasn't taken Danny long to change his mind.
Amy, come on.
Stop pulling me.
Come on, out here in the entry.
Okay. Now what is going on?
What's going on? We're going on, that's what. On home.
Leave the party at 8 o'clock?
That's right.
Why? Why do we have to leave? I don't understand.
Just listen in there.
Yeah, so?
I shouldn't even have brought you here.
Honestly, Danny, don't be ridiculous. What a prude.
Amy, that doesn't sound like you.
Amy, that doesn't sound like you.
Suddenly, Greg Denver, the party organizer, momentarily appears at the doorway, guitar in one hand, beer can in the other. He quickly sizes up the situation.
Well. Going home early, Danny boy, so Mommy can tuck you in, huh? See you around sometime, Aim.
Sure, Greg. See you.
Amy?
Well?
Well, you know what kind of... Come on, let's go home.
The next day, Amy is enjoying the afternoon sprawled out on the front porch glider.
Hi, Aim.
Oh, Greg. Hi. Come on up.
How fresh and rose-like you look, my dear. Could it be that you retired early, evening last?
Guess you ought to know. Plenty early. How was the party? After we left, I mean.
Fantastic. We sang songs for a while, drank, smoked grass, laughed, and then when the party was supposed to be over, about 12 o'clock or so, we decided to go outside along the beach. The moon was out, the waves were pounding, spray shooting up.
Wow.
Beautiful. Some of us walked towards the dock down by the Suttons, and I guess the rest went the other way.
Some of us?
Yeah, well, a couple of us. Anyhow, like I said, the moon was shining, and the waves were roaring like thunder. The water erased our footprints as we went. You know, Amy, it really gave you a funny feeling to look back. 2 sets of footprints were walking down the beach.
Yeah.
Then whoosh, they were gone. Then they started up again. Whoosh, gone again. It was like we were dropped out of space, like 1,000,000 miles from anywhere.
Oh, Greg, it sounds perfect.
Yeah. And the sand was cool. Oh, it was beautiful. Everything was beautiful.
Beautiful.
One thing, Aim.
What?
Yeah. I wish one of those sets of footprints had been yours.
Really?
Really? You're nice, Aim. A little serious, maybe. What you need is to have a little fun with somebody besides Mr. Wallflower.
Danny's okay.
Sure, but you need somebody to show you around. I mean, take you out and let you live a little. Let's face it, 8 o'clock is a little early to...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You need to get in the swing of life. Learn what it's all about. I can tell you, it's more than church parties and Sunday school picnics.
I guess I really haven't had much fun.
Of course not. Listen, I'm having a party at my place next Sunday night. It's just the party for the new you. Will you come?
That'd be neat, Greg.
Great. You'll see what it's like to have a really good time.
Amy?
Yes, Mother?
Danny just called. Said he's coming right over.
Oh, well, I guess I better clear the field for Daniel Wallflower.
Oh, I wish you didn't have to go.
Yeah, well, maybe someday we'll make the medieval scene with a bloody duel, huh? See you later, footprints.
Bye. See you later, footprints. 2 sets of footprints walking down the beach. Some of us walked towards the docks. Everything was beautiful.
Amy?
Oh, it's you.
Yeah. Amy, I hope you're not sore about last night. It's just... Well, it wasn't the kind of party I thought it was going to be.
I suppose you expected a quilting bee or something.
No, but I didn't expect it... Well, that either.
Oh, Danny, really?
Amy, you're not the kind of girl to be at a party like that. I mean, well, you're a nice girl, and I kind of think of you as my girl.
Well,
You need somebody to show you around, let you live a little.
Amy?
Look, Danny, I don't think you better consider me as your girl anymore.
If it's about last night...
No, it's not just that. It's... Well, I want to have a good time.
I always thought we did have a good time.
Sure, but life's more than Sunday school picnics, you know.
Well, I guess that answers my question.
What question?
About the church swimming party. I wanted you to go with me.
I'm sorry, Danny. I'll be busy that night.
I don't suppose Greg has anything to do with this?
What if he does?
I'm warning you, Amy. Don't get mixed up with him.
Jealous?
Look, never mind.
Never mind what?
Guess I'd better go. I just hope you're smarter than that alley cat.
Danny!
Well, he is. Please be careful, Amy.
Please be careful, Amy. Ugh.
A couple days later, at the malt shop around the corner from school, Greg is bragging to his buddies. He's completely unaware that Danny is seated at the booth directly behind him and can overhear his conversation.
Here's your order, Greg.
Thanks, baby. Good food and plenty of women is all I need.
Hey. Speaking of women, I hear you got a couple of new ones on the line, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know what they say about variety. But there is one in particular. Amy Carter. Boy, did she dig that moonlight stuff.
Hey, hasn't been around much, has she?
No, but she will be. She's coming to my place next Sunday. I told her I had a party planned. And boy, I sure do.
Not wasting much time, are you?
Of course not.
And what about Carol?
What about her? Just because we make the scene together for a couple of months doesn't mean I bit the dust. Carol can go too, man.
Okay.
Besides that, she kind of lost her touch. I like my roses nice and fresh.
At this point, Danny can take no more. He quietly edges his way from his booth and heads for the door. But Greg spots him.
Hey, hi there, Danny boy. How's the old early to bed, early to rise expert? Hey, boys. Huh?
Not wanting to argue with Greg, Danny simply leaves the malt shop. But he wastes no time in trying to contact Amy. When her phone rings, Amy eagerly snatches it up in anticipation, hoping to hear Greg's voice on the other end.
Hello? Hello, Amy? It's me, Danny.
Oh, hi, Danny.
How have you been? I mean, I haven't seen you lately. I thought maybe you were sick or something.
It's only been a few days since the party, Danny. How have you been?
Okay, except everybody at church, they all asked about you.
Oh, they did, really? But, like I said, I've been busy.
Amy, don't let Greg...
That again. You don't need to worry about me. I can take care of myself.
Look, Amy.
Goodbye, Danny. If Daniel Wallflower thinks he's going to run my life, he'd better think again. Hello?
I wanted to tell you not to go to Greg's.
Goodbye.
After a couple of days of wondering what to do, Danny is still as far from a solution as ever. Finally, on Sunday night, Danny finds himself circling Amy's block, trying to get up his courage to attempt reasoning with her one more time, to try to talk her out of going to Greg's. Then suddenly he sees her leave her house, so he follows her at a discreet distance as she walks to Greg's. Then, too late, she is at Greg's door.
Greg, is that you peeking out?
Yep. Just checking. I don't let real people in, just footprints.
Do I qualify?
You qualify.
But as Greg pulls the door open for her to enter, he catches a glimpse of Danny, who is still standing just down the block.
Well, who have we here? Hi there, Sherlock.
Sherl... Danny? Is he out there?
Look.
Yuck, what a creep.
Forget it, baby. Come on in.
Am I early? Where is everybody?
Everybody's here.
But you said a party.
Well, I invited all the interesting people I know. You.
Oh.
Sit down. I'll get our ambrosia.
At first, Amy feels a bit strange, but she slowly begins to warm a bit to the whole idea and settles down on the couch. Pretty soon, Greg returns with a snack tray.
Say, Aim, before I forget it, there's going to be another party out at Hunter's in a couple of weeks.
Oh?
Yeah, I thought maybe you'd like to meet me there. We all just sort of converge on the place, and then the fun begins.
Sure. It sounds terrific.
Terrific. Here, eat up. And besides, if we just meet out there, it might not be so obvious to the shadow.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I think he could join Pinkerton's the way he keeps track of me.
Yeah. Well, he's the type. Just doesn't know when to give up, huh, baby? You remember what I told you about the party, don't you?
Remember? I've gone over it 1,000 times in my head.
What part did you like the best?
After the party. About the beach, I guess.
I thought maybe. I thought you'd be the kind of girl to really dig the freedom and the romance of the beach, the waves, moon.
It does sound nice.
And one of those sets of footprints will be yours this time. And whoosh, they'll be wiped away.
Yeah, I guess so.
Of course, being alone anywhere is nice.
Yeah, well, I really don't think I should be staying. I mean, I thought there would be other people here.
Come on now. Remember, I told you, you need a little fun.
Well, I know, but, well...
Oh, come on. Snuggle back here. Relax.
Really, Greg, I should go.
Yeah, okay, baby, whatever you say. Here, let me help you up. Footprints. You're like the summer wind, warm and beautiful.
That sounds nice.
And it's true. I'll be calling you, and then don't forget the beach scene in a few weeks.
Oh, I could never forget.
Okay, I'll see you then. Bye.
True to his word, Greg called Amy. In fact, he made it a practice to call her every day and to try to see her at school whenever possible. Finally, the day of the next beach party has arrived, and none too soon to suit Amy.
Mother!
Out here, Amy, on the porch.
Oh, here you are. Tonight's the party at Hunter's. Jane will be after me in a few minutes. Greg's bringing me home.
Greg Denver? The boy who's been phoning you so much?
Yeah, he's the one.
Well, how come he isn't going to pick you up?
Oh, everybody just sort of meets there for the party.
Well, what time should your father and I expect you home?
Oh, Mom, I don't know. You know how these parties are. Sometimes things get pretty lively.
Well, just see to it that you're not home too late. By the way, I haven't seen so much of Danny lately.
I guess he hasn't been around much.
Well, it doesn't hurt for you to date around at your age. Just so long as they're all as nice as Danny, your father and I have no worries. Danny's a good Christian boy. He seems practically like a son to us.
Yeah, and like a brother to me. Well, here she is, Mom.
Okay, dear, have a good time.
Don't worry, I will.
I was kind of surprised to hear from you. Didn't you check out of the last party pretty early?
I'll say, but that wasn't my idea.
I can just imagine whose it was. Danny's pretty straight.
Too straight. I sure have missed out on a lot of happenings.
I take it you're in for a piece of the action now.
Well, let's just say that my Sunday school picnic days are over. Talk about boring. Oh, I thought they were fun at the time, but I think maybe I'm beginning to learn.
Yeah. Well, with Greg as a teacher, you can't miss.
Well, I've heard my folks say it dozens of times. You're only young once. So I guess if I'm going to learn what life's all about, there's no time like the present.
Yeah. Well, I hope you know how to take care of yourself.
Don't worry about me. What could happen?
You know, you do worry me. Watch yourself. Well, here we are.
Yep, here we are.
Amy loses no time as she hurries up to the beach house to find Greg.
Danny? What? Where's...
Hi, Amy. Jane. Boy, Amy, I'm glad you finally came.
Glad? But I was supposed to meet...
I know. You were supposed to meet Greg here.
You knew?
Oh, Greg called me.
Called you? I don't believe this. Greg called you?
Yes, from Chicago.
Chicago?
Chicago. Look, let's go outside so we can talk. It's kind of a long story, Amy. Greg is on his way to Texas.
Texas?
Yeah, he's joining the Air Force. Says he's got to get away. He, told me you'd need a way home from here. At least I'll give him credit for that. I asked him why he had to get away so fast. Problems, man, problems, he said.
What problems?
It's Carol, Amy.
Carol?
Yeah, Greg's ex-babe, as he put it.
So?
She's pregnant, Amy.
Pregnant?
Amy looks at Danny with utter disbelief. But slowly things start to fall together. She can almost hear Greg say,
The sand was cool. Everything was beautiful. One of those sets of footprints will be yours this time.
Oh, Danny, I'm so stupid. He made it all sound so romantic. Just a walk down the beach on a moonlit night. When I think of how close I came, pregnant. Oh, Danny.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Greg gave me a message for you.
Oh?
Yeah, tell Amy it only looked like the footprints washed away.
It only looked like they washed away.
Yeah. What do you think it means?
Well, Aunt Sue, what do you think Greg meant? It only looked like they washed away.
Uncle Dan, I think Amy knew what he meant.
Oh?
Yes, I think she learned that night that your footprints never wash away. That whatever you do is done, and the effects of it can never be undone.
Well, I guess that's true, Aunt Sue. Even if nobody ever knew that you did something wrong, you would still live with a memory of it.
Of course, we shouldn't forget, Uncle Dan, that even though we do still carry the knowledge of our sins, and that others may be affected by what we have done, God is always ready to forgive us.
Right. And how wonderful it would be if our actions could influence others to live good lives.
You mean we should leave good footprints?
Well, I guess you could look at it that way.
That reminds me of what one of our best-loved American poets, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, said about footprints.
What's that, Aunt Sue?
Well, he put it this way in his poem, A Psalm of Life.
Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and, departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Footprints that perhaps another, sailing o'er life's solemn main, a forlorn and shipwrecked brother, seeing, shall take heart again.
A wonderful story. And now, boys and girls, we're going to hear a really different story, as told by Aunt Sue, called
John Goes Seal Hunting.
John lived in a small Norwegian town by the side of the sea. In the summer, the choppy sea lapped at the shore, and fishing vessels sailed forth at dawn and returned at dusk.
Made a good catch today. Made ourselves a right nice pile of money, we did.
In the winter, the snow fell constantly over the coastal village, and the cold blue sea became a mass of drift ice.
Reef the canvas there, man! On the double!
John, with flaxen hair and blue eyes that laughed, lived alone with his father, known as Big Carl, and considered the wisest man in town. He was the village school teacher.
But, Father, I don't want to be a school teacher.
Why not? It's a good profession. People look up to you. Besides, teachers perform a great service for humanity.
I want to be a seal hunter.
A seal hunter? John, my son, any strong boy can become a seal hunter. But you have to have a special talent to teach school. And we, you and I, John, my son, have a special care, a burden, I guess you'd call it, for the young. We understand them. God meant for us to teach, not kill like seal hunters have to do.
Maybe God meant for you to teach, but not me. I'm supposed to become a seal hunter, else why would I feel such a hankering to go?
You're just a restless, nervous boy.
I'm anxious to do something. Hunt seal. Do something big.
Remember how successful you were teaching little Klaus to read when I couldn't? I'd given him up, and you taught him.
But, Father, I don't like to teach. I won't be happy teaching. I want to be a seal hunter.
Man, clean the decks. All right. Get her ready to take out to sea.
Good afternoon, Captain Frederick.
Greetings, Big Carl. What brings the schoolmaster out here on a cold day like this? You ain't thinking to get me to go to school, are you? Have to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic, huh?
No, Captain Frederick. I want to talk to you about my son, John.
Oh, little Carl, eh? Yeah, what about him?
Well, he wants to be a seal hunter.
Well, I don't know if there's anything better to be. Unless it's a schoolmaster like you.
He set his mind on becoming a seal hunter.
Wise lad. Want me to teach him to be a good seal hunter like me?
Well, I thought you might have a place for him on your next trip out.
Well, I could maybe take him on as a skinner.
Would you?
Why not? And I'll teach him how to be a good seal hunter. Almost as good as me, eh?
Well, take good care of him for me, Captain. It's a dangerous business, isn't it? Hunting seals.
Dangerous?
Well, you jump from ice floe to ice floe, don't you?
Hunting seals, Big Carl, ain't one whit more dangerous than it is teaching school like you do. Well, I'd be plumb scared to death trying to pound learning into them unruly boys' heads.
I'm going hunting with Captain Fredericks? Hunting seals?
As a skinner, yes.
When?
Well, it'll be several days. But you're to go down tomorrow morning and help them rig the ship and load provisions.
Take those provisions below deck, store them properly so the ship will ride on an even keel. And you, scrape that deck over there. Hey, you, come here.
You want me, sir?
See, you're Big Carl's son, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
So you want to be a seal hunter, eh?
Yes, sir.
A good one, like me?
Yes, sir.
That's a good ambition, son. There just ain't nothing better than being out there on them ice floes, a-hunting and a-killing seal.
Yes, sir.
First thing you gotta learn is to respect the sea and the ice floes. They're killers if you don't, and gentle as lambs if you do. You ever been out to sea?
Well, no, sir.
You likely as not get seasick the first trip out, but you'll survive, I think. Now get up there in the ship and help the men.
Yes, sir. It's a man's work, Father. Much better than blackboards and chalk.
When do you set sail?
At dawn.
Well, it's rough weather, son. You'll likely get seasick.
I'm not afraid.
Of course not, but don't be ashamed either.
I won't, Father.
Well, son, you better get on to the ship. It's almost dawn.
It was a cold, stormy morning. As the ship left the shelter of the harbor, the winds blew fiercely over the deck and brought tears to the eyes of John. The vessel pitched and rolled, but John was not afraid. Then the gale worsened, and the skipper had to reef the canvas.
Reef the sail, men! Reef the sail!
John was right there helping the crew fight sails that were already frozen rigid. It was a man's life, and John gloried in it, even though his fingers hurt and his nose tingled with the cold.
Faster there, man, faster! Get that sail reef!
But the howling wind, the bitter cold, and the rolling, pitching deck was too much for John. He soon clung to the rail, seasick.
You little Carl, get below deck! That's an order on the double now!
The next day, the sea was calm, and John struggled up on deck, feeling rather weak.
My boy, how you feel this morning?
Well, all right, sir.
It's a beautiful day, little Carl. Look around. Everything is quiet. Drift ice everywhere, as far as you can see.
It's beautiful. Sir, there's some seals. Are we going to catch them?
No, lad. You see up there in the crow's nest?
Yes, sir.
Well, that man up there is watching out for a herd of seals.
Oh, look, Captain, there's a bear.
Yep, polar bear. Sitting on that ice floe, just a-passing the time of day with himself.
John watched everything. His eyes squinted against the glare of the ice. It was hours before they came upon a herd of seals.
Herd of hooded seals on starboard!
All right, man, lower all sail! See those seal, little Carl?
Yes, sir. Hundreds of them as far as I can see. They're crawling over the ice. What a sight.
See the thick black fur around their faces?
They look just like hoods.
Well, that's exactly why they're called hooded seal.
So many of them are on the ice. I thought they swam in the water.
Well, they do, but this is the time of year they bear their baby seals. And that's why they're on the ice.
Oh.
Notice how quiet everything is? The sails all lowered, not a sound. Well, that's so we won't disturb the seals. You got your knife?
Yes, sir.
When I give the word, we go over the side, all of us. You follow me.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, over the side.
Captain Fredericks, the crew, and the Skinners went over the side armed with knives and clubs. They jumped silently, nimbly from one ice floe to another until they were in the midst of the herd. The man to John's left clubbed a mother seal violently until she flapped in panic to another ice floe and watched the man kill her baby with his knife. The mother barked hoarsely and then disappeared beneath the water. Meanwhile, the captain, just a little in front of John, had killed a baby seal, making the ice crimson with its blood. John looked at the dead baby. It stared back at him with wide, round, sightless eyes. It had a dark little nose, funny whiskers, and very soft, dark fur, like a baby's hood around its face. The rest of its coat was white.
Come on, lad. If you can't kill him, then carry the dead ones back to the ship, do you hear?
John resolutely stuck his knife in his belt. It was still clean. He picked up 2 of the baby seals and carried them back to the ship.
Come on, little Carl. There's more of them to carry to the ship. Get busy!
All day, John carried little seals from the ice floes to the ship. He was earning his keep, but kill those cuddly baby seals he could not. Every time he saw a sad-eyed mother seal bob up and watch her little baby die, his throat ached with misery.
I didn't know hunting seals would be like this.
What did you think it'd be, a picnic?
I thought that... Well, I thought I'd put my cunning and strength against the power of a larger seal. Why don't we kill the big ones?
Sometimes we do, but never when we can get as many baby seals as this. Their fine baby fur is much more valuable for ladies' coats. Anyway, if we let the mother seals live, next year they'll have more babies and we can get more fur, see?
By the time that day ended, that endless day, John was covered with blood from shirt to boots. That night, in the ship, the Skinners skinned and butchered the seals. They kept the fur and the choice parts of the meat, and the rest they threw into the water until the sea was red all about.
Men, we've had a good day. This haul will lend us a lot of money. Little Carl, you worked hard. I'll take you with me again next time.
John did not tell the captain that his knife was still clean. Later that night, the captain called the men together.
Men, we've done well today. Here's your pay. Ralph, you're first. Here you are. Lots of money, eh?
Yes, Captain.
Yeah, little Carl, how about you? See, your first pay, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
And you're going to get as much as the rest of them. Lots of money for a lad. And don't spend it all in one place, huh? Here you are, all in coins, huh?
The next day, the ship sailed into port. John saw his father standing on shore, smiling. He saw, too, that there was a certain something that he must do. So he walked up to the captain.
Captain, sir?
Yes, my lad?
I won't be going with you on your next trip.
You won't, eh? Well, have it your own way, lad. There are plenty who'll be glad to serve on my ship.
Hello, son. You're back safe and sound.
Yes, sir.
Did you have a good trip?
No, Father.
From the looks of you, you must have caught a lot of seals.
We did, but... Oh, Father, you were right. God didn't intend for me to kill. I'm not going back. See, my knife is still clean. I couldn't use it. I've decided that I'd rather be a school teacher and help others than a seal hunter and kill.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.